From the moment we brought our son home from the hospital, I felt time slipping away. Every day, this newborn was a little bit bigger and a little bit older, and my heart could not take it. Anytime I would talk about parenting with someone over the first year of my son's life, I would say, it's like time passing before my eyes. Like everyone tells you it goes so fast, and I am watching it go so fast right before my eyes. It was like he made time real. And while I was aware of this, I talked about it all the time. It didn't really hit me until New Year's of 2023. I was doing the yearly recap for 2022, started in January of 2022, and my son was just this drooling 9-month-old bouncing in his jolly jumper. He couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, he was just a baby. And then I put in all these clips from the year of 2022 up until December when he was 20 months old and he was walking and he was talking and he was this toddler, this little kid. And I will never forget, I was sitting on my basement floor and I just sobbed because while I was there for all those moments, I really felt like I wasn't. I felt like I was so distracted for most of that year, trying to get back to my old self, trying to be all of the things, trying to be a working mom, trying to be not just a mom. I was so focused on the doing that I failed at the being. I wasn't there mentally for those moments, and I feel like I missed out on a lot. And then I had a moment where I was with my son and he did something super cute and I thought, I can't wait to tell that to my mom tomorrow. And then the next day came and I was like, oh, I have to tell mom that thing. And I couldn't remember what that thing was. And to this day, I don't remember what it was. That coupled with my experience in January, I was just done. I knew time was passing and I knew I wasn't making the most of it. I knew I couldn't slow it down, but I knew I could make more of the time that I had. And this is how I did it. But before we jump into it, hi, my name is Sam. I'm a Matrescence educator and a passionate advocate of motherhood. I believe that you deserve to enjoy this. I believe that you deserve to be seen. And most importantly, I believe you deserve to find yourself through motherhood instead of losing yourself to it. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, comment, like, all those things, and let's jump into it. So to be honest, it didn't happen overnight. It took me about 3 to 6 months for me to really dissect what was wrong, what I needed to fix, and then implement those things. So first of all, I started looking at what is going on. Why am I not here? First, I felt distracted a lot. My brain was somewhere else so much of the time. I don't know if you've ever felt that of like, I'm here, but I'm not here. I felt that a lot. And then I felt like I was really quick to snap at my husband, snap at my son. I was just a little on edge, more so with my husband than with my son, but I just felt like I was reacting really quick instead of responding. And then I also felt really overwhelmed and lost. Like I was just on to the next thing. Like I was on this hamster wheel. And a little background information that I think is important. Back in 2020 during quarantine, I got really into meditation and journaling and just overall mindfulness practices, which mindfulness, according to research, is one, being able to observe your thoughts, being able to self-regulate and really be the observer of your thoughts instead of just thinking things and letting your brain run away with you, as well as not labeling those thoughts or labeling the moment. So we're not looking at the moment as something that's bad or good. We're not thinking about the past or future when we're in the moment. We're just in that moment. Like I got really good at it. I was really good at being aware of my thoughts. I was really good at being present in the moment, but I had definitely lost a lot of that. So when I started looking at, okay, if I'm feeling this way, what is missing? What do I need to add back into my life or take away to make myself feel better and to be more present? And the first thing was a mindfulness practice. I didn't really have anything that was helping me to be more mindful. I wasn't meditating. I wasn't journaling. I wasn't really doing anything to help me there. And the second thing was organization. I'm type A. I like to plan things. And I really felt like what I needed was a way to organize my day, to focus my time, and to prioritize so that I could know what tasks made it good enough, right? So like if I did these things, that's good enough, and I could get off that hamster wheel of the constant productivity and the never ending to-do list that is motherhood. And the last thing was meaningful self-care. I, at the time, was working 2 jobs. I was getting up at 4 a.m. to do content for my one job as well as client check-ins. Then my son woke up at 7, so I spent the morning with him, started my day job at 8, worked until 4, went to pick my son up from daycare at 4, got to spend time with him in the evenings, which I loved. But then when he went to bed at 8, I went to bed shortly thereafter because I had to get up at 4 the next day. And the only real self-care practices I had in this time were workouts, which I was doing 3 to 4 times a week, which were great and I think are a form of self-care. But the only other thing I was doing was having wine or having some THC at night to unwind. And those were things that weren't benefiting me in the long run. They just felt good in the moment. And so I knew I needed more self-care that was going to help me feel better in the moment as well as down the road. So I did a few things. These are some things I think you can do right now to become a more mindful parent based on my experience. One, I hope you haven't been taking a shot every time I say mindful, because a mindfulness practice is definitely going to be important for becoming more mindful. Anything that helps us to be more mindful of our thoughts and of the present moment, like meditation, like other behavioral practices, as well as other cognitive and empathetic strategies that help us be more in tune with our emotions and our thoughts. And according to research, mindfulness has been shown to improve our quality of life as parents, reduce our stress as parents, as well as improve the quality of life of our family members. And just a little side tangent here, when I was doing this research, I was unable to find any type of research on how these self-care practices or mindfulness practices impacted mom for the sake of mom. It's always the mom doing this practice impacted the child in this way, which is important. But also, mom, your self-care and your mindfulness and your mental well-being matters for the sake of you being a human with needs. And the fact that that's not out there is telling me how society feels about moms. Anyway, the two things I would recommend are meditating and journaling. The easiest way, for me at least, to get into meditation was doing short guided meditations. So doing things like 5-minute meditations on YouTube. That's a great place to start because there's a ton of free guided meditations there. I'll link a couple of my favorites down below. I wear an Oura Ring, so Oura Ring also has guided meditations that I love. I've used the Calm app. I've used the Oura app, Aura app. And I also, if you're more into the woo-woo stuff, I use the Chani app. She has really great guided meditations along with horoscopes and fun things like that. The second thing for journaling, I find that getting into journaling is, again, easiest when it is guided. I bought a guided journal and I started journaling more frequently. It was something where it was short, it was quick. It took me less than 10 minutes and there were about 3 to 4 prompts that I did each day, but I kept feeling like something was missing, that these prompts were great. They made me feel better, but it wasn't the questions that I needed. And on top of that, I kept going back to that moment in February of forgetting that moment that I so wanted to remember. So finally, I was like, I know what I need. I need a journal that is going to center me, that is going to bring me into the moment, that has prompts that are short but intentional with the purpose of helping a mom who is trying to be more mindful and trying to make the most out of motherhood and put energy into herself. I needed a place to put down these memories, and I needed a place to organize my day so I could get off this hamster wheel of productivity. So I said, if it's not going to exist, I'm going to make it. Now here's where I'm going to go into showing you something that I made and something that I will be selling. The point of this is not to sell you this product. I'm going to go into how you can implement this into your life without my product, but I am going to explain what I did and why it worked and how it can work for you. So here it is. This is my prototype for the Welcome Mama Journal and Day Planner. I put all of those things that I needed in one place so that I could set aside 5-10 minutes every morning to check all those boxes all in one place. I love filling this out most days. I made this an undated journal so that you can fill it out whenever, because I know that you're not going to get to it every day. I don't get to it every day. So first of all, it has this really unique design. So we have a journal on one page, and then on the opposite page, there is a planner page. So on the journal page, you have really short, quick, but intentional prompts. And then you have your memory box where you put all of those little memories. And on the other side, you have your planner page. So once you are centered, you have your intention set for the day, you can go ahead and design your day. And I can go over the planner page in another video, but I really want to talk about the journal because this is what made the most impact in being a more mindful parent. It's meaningful. The prompts are very specific. They are very intentional to make an impact on you as a mom. And most importantly, this is a keepsake. In writing down your memories and writing down your life here, this is something you can look back on 10, 20, 30 years from now and remember those little moments. And then one of the coolest things is this can be passed down to your kids too, so that they can look back on their memories and they can see you as the fully fledged woman that you are and were versus just their mom. I want to go over a couple of the things that really made the biggest impact. And again, I think you can implement these in your life without the journal, but the journal and planner does make it 100 times easier. It starts with journal prompts, and I wrote deeply grateful because I want these to be things that you are genuinely, truly grateful for. And it makes you look out for things to be grateful for because you know you have to fill out this prompt, and it makes you examine your life for what are things that maybe I don't think about, but I really should feel grateful for. As prompts for intentions and for affirmations and for mantras and things that really make you examine what do you want today to look like. And it has a prompt for releasing anxiety or releasing any resistance. So it really forces you to be mindful, to tune into your body and to say, what am I feeling today? Why am I feeling that? And even better yet, it asks you, is there anything you can do to act on that, or do you need to release it? I feel like this is a huge piece of self-care for me, but it also has a prompt of what can I do for myself today? So it makes me think, am I neglecting myself? Am I taking care of myself? And in doing that, I fill my cup, I feel a lot better, and there's a lot less resentment in my life because I'm aware of what I am lacking instead of just going through life and then blowing up when I realize the amount of lack that I have. And the memories. Oh my God, the memory box has been so wonderful. It makes me reflect on the day before, and it makes me look at all those little moments that I may have overlooked. And it truly has helped me capture moments that would have been otherwise lost to me. I go back in this all the time, and this is just 3 months worth, and I go back and I see things that I completely forgot about. It's so fun, and I can only imagine how fun it's going to be to look back on 5-10 years from now. It's made me more mindful and present in my day because I'm looking out for these little moments of gratitude. I'm looking out for moments that I want to remember. But other than that, it's also made me markedly less stressed and anxious because I have this time. It has shown, you can ask, I should have my husband talk about this sometime, but I am a completely different person than I was a year ago because of this journal and planner. I am more mindful and I am making the most of that time. And I think you will love it too. If you want to get started now, I want to make these journal pages accessible to you. So I have these for sale on my website right now. You can download the PDF and get started with journaling right now. I'm also going to be hosting a 7-day journaling challenge starting on November 5th, where I'm going to take a small group of women through journaling every single day. We'll talk, we'll communicate, and there will be some like freebies and giveaways along with that as well. But if none of that is for you, if you're like, cool journal, love it, but not for me, another thing you can do is just free write. I still free write journal a lot, even though I have this journal. I find that free writing once or twice a week, or even sometimes once or twice a month, depending on what I need, really helps me to get to the root of what I may be feeling or what I need to work through. And so what you can do for this, set a timer for 3 to 5 minutes and just write, or set a page limit. Say I'm going to write for like 1 full page or 3 full pages and just dump it all out. Don't judge it. Don't censor yourself. Just write what comes to mind. And usually it'll start like, I don't know what to write about. Lately, I've just been doing this and this and this. And oh my God, that's what's going on. You get to what you need to get to when you just keep writing. Another way to journal is by drawing or doing bullet journals. I am not an artistic person, so that's not my jam, but I do know a lot of people who find a lot of benefit in doing bullet journaling or drawing journals. And you can, again, just Google that. You'll come up with a lot of stuff. Then I think walking really helps with becoming more mindful, especially when we do it in silence or when we do it listening to a walking meditation, something that helps us to be mindful about the act of walking, which sounds kind of silly, but when you're walking, you're not thinking 1 step, 2 steps, I'm moving my arms, I'm breathing. Doing a guided meditation while you walk can help you do that. Or you could just do that on your own. Just walk and think about what you're doing. That's another thing you can do to be more mindful, is to be mindful about everyday moments. So things like washing your hands, things like writing, feel the pen in your hand, feel yourself click it down, observe that, quiet all of the other thoughts except for what you are doing, and that's going to center you and bring you into the present moment. And then the last thing is reading books on this kind of stuff. I found that reading books like things by Eckhart Tolle, believe what you want to believe about him, it helped me and I really liked it. Raising Good Humans, all things that are focused on being more mindful and being more responsive to your environment instead of reactive, can be really helpful. So that is it for today's video. If you are interested in joining that journal challenge that starts on November 5th, make sure to sign up down below. And if you're interested in some of those links that I talked about as far as guided meditations, books, and the study, I will link those down below as well. I feel like this is something that makes a huge impact and has made a huge impact on my life. And that's really what I tried to do with my journal and day planner, to make it realistic and make it accessible to all of us moms out there feeling like we just don't have time. Before you leave, again, please make sure to subscribe, comment, like this video. You can follow me over on Instagram at @SamanthaHall__. And if you have any questions about the journal, about the program, my contact information is down below. But as always, thank you for being here. Welcome, mama. You deserve to enjoy this. Helpful. I will put all the links to the journal in the show notes. Nope, that's a podcast. I'm not on a podcast right now.